budget time when the number of personnel involved increases. It's exactly opposite of the way government ought to be treating senior citizens. But it is, to me, very personal, but it's the most fun one that I have also. So I just wanted to make that statement that the workload is huge for each of the 5 board members, but there are fun commissions that we do get to sit on, and this is mine. I do have a couple of speaker cards from members of the public, and so at this point I'd like to move to those folks. I have Patricia Cornell, followed by Jank Artists.
Good morning. My name is Patricia Cornell. I've been a provider since '03, and I'm on the IHSS Advisory Committee. And I'd like to thank all of you all as a Board of Supervisors for your continued help over the years. I was part of the advisory committee, the negotiating committee with the union that helped get our increases in our salary, and you all were so kind as to approve all that. And you've been very supportive, even all of you who are not here the previous years. Your predecessors have been very supportive. I would just like to make a couple of comments on the proposed budget cuts. I think will really harm the elderly, the frail, and we're all going to be there someday. God forbid there should be an accident or one of us gets in an accident and our little bodies just can't cope and the emergency people have to come and take care of us. Other people then have to make decisions for us. When Jesus was in his days outside Jerusalem, there was a great big pit, and they used to put people that they didn't like anymore, that were sick or elderly or frail or crippled, and they would put guards there. And so anybody that tried to help the people in the pit, the guards would force them in the pit. And sometimes they would burn, and so if people happened to be there, they would be burned and then have more room for more people. And that's why Jesus was crucified outside the gate, so he could be identified with them. It was Hubert Humphrey, our senator, who said the mark of a civil society is how they treat their frail, their elderly, and their crippled, and their disabled. And most of us here are not perfect, so we all have some kind of disablement as we get older. As the Supervisor Wattenberger said, we're all heading that way unless you know some kind of secret. Maybe you should share it with us. We're all heading that way, and we're all going to do it differently. And we all kind of expect that friends and family and the government will be around to help us. I'd like to say that the governor, who has raised millions of dollars for his re-election, couldn't seem to fit the budget, to make the budget so that it would help the frail and elderly. An 18% cut is no way to consistently, month after month, assure those of us who, as a provider, think that I'm going to have a job. I can't go from $9.45 an hour to $8 an hour minimum wage, which is what he would like to do on the proposed budget, because even though I'm a retired government employee, I still find that everything keeps going up. Car insurance, food, gas, everything, just a little bit here and there. And you know what? I want to keep working, and I also think that I do a good job, and I'd also continue working. I hope that the Board of Supervisors will continue to support the frail and the elderly and the union, which tries to look out for those that we care for. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi. Okay. My name is Jank Artists, and I want to first start to thank you this morning. I was able to drop my ballot off at the office here and using my signature stamp, which was due to all of you backing me on that, and I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate so much the fact that I'm able to be a recipient of in-home supportive services and live in my home with dignity as a single woman. I've been legally blind for the last 20 years, and all these services mean so very much to me, and I can't begin to tell you what they would be like, what my life would be like without them. I hope that I don't really need to ever find that out, but each thing you do for us please know that there's somebody there that appreciates all you do. And I've dealt with a lot of you. I know Kendall Smith, if it hadn't been for her helping me when she was with Mike Thompson's office to get on my Social Security, I swear to God, I still wouldn't be on it. And I'm 73 years old. So please know that there are people out there that appreciate you very much and all you do for us. And please hang in there for us. And I'm with the California Council of the Blind. I'm on the Health Planning Council, the In-Home Supportive Service Council, and I try to give back to my community as much as I can. And I just thank you again.
Thank you. We have one additional speaker, Louis Bigfoot, please.
Well, thank you for this subject. I had a mother-in-law that I was taking daily to the senior daycare program in Willits at the senior center on Bechtel Road for years. In fact, my mother-in-law's father, who lived to be up in the 90s, also went to the same program. My mother went to this program. It was a senior daycare program. It was a wonderful program. They did various projects with the seniors. You could take your mom or dad or anybody there, and they would spend a day there. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I'd like to go on the record as this is actually, I'm registering a complaint. In fact, I would like this to be investigated. If the older Americans care about this program, which was a good program, I'd like the concerned people particularly in the 3rd District, John Pinch's district, when they eat at the senior center to realize that this program is closed under false pretenses. When I asked why this program is closed, because I was going there daily, watching the program. They had 8 to 9 people in the program, and they had a couple ladies there who had been there one lady had been there for up to 16 years in this program. She had a garbage can of photographs that she ultimately threw in the dumpster and shredded out of sadness the day I arrived, the day they closed the program, because she was told the last day that they were finally going to close the program. She was warned, they were warned, the 2 ladies that were there were warned that they were going to close the program. So I went to the board of the Willett Senior Center on Bechtel Road and asked the board, why are you closing this program? It's so needed not only for myself, but for the wheelchair victims. And they said, well, it's not funding itself. It's not getting enough money. I said, well, it's got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people here. And sat in on the board meeting and realized that they had made the decision to close it. And they were actually covering up the real reason, because it had to be more than funding. I hear about all these grants and so on. And they said that they just couldn't get the extra money that they needed. They ran a newspaper, put an article in a newspaper talking about how it wasn't money. And anyway, make a long story short, they closed the program, and what they did is they replaced in that room, and this is the part that I found very interesting, is that the Rotary Club got that room. So anytime you go to a Rotary Club luncheon now, I can visualize what the program room could actually be instead of the Rotary Club. Now the Rotary Club is a group of people who meet to talk about their well-being as well as money, funding, and so on. So the Rotary Club got the room. Just think about that. You kicked out the disenfranchised 13, 14 people and brought in the Rotary Club. And there it is, the Willett Senior Center, who everybody loves. And I want to share with you that the bank president, Mr. Willoughby, who I like, he's a friend of mine, and all these people are friends of mine. I talked to him on a one-on-one, but I didn't know who to register the complaint with, because the complaint is so long and deep and heartfelt that I felt, well, it's over, you know. This is like 2 years now, a year and a half ago. And but Mr. Willoughby approved all of the funding. I went to his office, sat down with him. He pulled out a register of all the money that was spent and received in the senior program.